Have you ever looked at an old quarter from 1965 and wondered if it could be hiding an incredible secret? Imagine reaching into your pocket, opening an old coin jar, or searching through a family collection and discovering a single coin that collectors dream about. Stories about rare American coins have inspired collectors for generations because every once in a while, an ordinary-looking coin turns out to be something extraordinary. Today, we're taking a close look at the fascinating 1965 Washington quarter, a coin surrounded by mystery, collector excitement, and countless rumors. Some people even claim certain examples are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, while others have exaggerated those stories into unbelievable multi-million-dollar headlines. But what really makes a 1965 quarter valuable? Stay with us as we separate collector facts from internet myths and explore why this coin continues to attract so much attention. The year 1965 marked one of the biggest changes in American coinage history. Rising silver prices forced the United States Mint to stop producing circulating quarters made from 90% silver and replace them with a copper-nickel-clad composition. This change transformed the quarter forever and made 1965 the first regular-issue Washington quarter struck without its traditional silver content. Millions of Americans noticed the difference immediately, and many began saving older silver quarters while spending the new clad coins. Because this transition happened during a period of enormous demand for coins, the Mint produced hundreds of millions of 1965 quarters, making ordinary examples very common today. However, among such a huge production, a tiny number of unusual pieces with striking errors or exceptional quality became highly desirable to serious collectors. One of the biggest reasons collectors search through 1965 quarters is the possibility of discovering a rare mint error. During the coin-making process, small mechanical mistakes can sometimes create coins that look dramatically different from normal examples. Off-center strikes, doubled designs, clipped planchets, or other production errors can make an otherwise common coin much more desirable. In extremely rare situations, experts have also studied unusual transitional pieces that differ from standard production, although these are exceptionally uncommon and require professional authentication. A coin that appears unusual should never be cleaned or altered because its original condition is one of the most important factors in determining collector value. Condition is another key factor that separates an ordinary quarter from one that collectors compete to own. Most 1965 quarters spent decades in circulation, picking up scratches, worn edges, and faded details. A coin that somehow remained untouched with brilliant surfaces, sharp details, and strong original luster is much more attractive to collectors. Professional grading services carefully examine these coins under magnification and assign a grade that reflects their preservation. Even a small difference in grade can mean the difference between a modest collectible and a coin that commands an impressive premium at auction. That is why experienced collectors always recommend handling coins carefully and storing them properly if they appear to be in unusually high-quality condition. The internet is filled with dramatic headlines claiming that a single 1965 quarter is worth hundreds of millions of dollars or could instantly make someone a billionaire. These stories spread quickly because they capture people's imagination, but collectors should approach such claims with caution. Extraordinary prices require extraordinary evidence, including authenticated rarity, documented auction records, and expert verification. While some genuinely rare era coins have sold for significant amounts, there is no verified public sale showing an ordinary 1965 Washington quarter reaching anywhere close to hundreds of millions of dollars. The real excitement comes from learning how to recognize genuine collectible features instead of believing every sensational headline. If you happen to own several 1965 quarters, don't assume they are worthless, but don't expect every coin to be a jackpot either. Start by examining each coin carefully under good lighting. Look for unusual striking characteristics, strong detail, or anything that appears different from a normal example. Avoid polishing the coin because cleaning almost always reduces collector value. If you discover a piece that appears especially unusual or remarkably well preserved, consider having it examined by a qualified coin expert or submitted to a respected grading service. Authentication is the only reliable way to determine whether a coin has genuine collectible importance. Coin collecting is about much more than chasing huge prices. Every American coin tells part of the nation's history, reflecting changes in technology, economics, and everyday life. The 1965 Washington quarter represents the moment when the United States entered a new era of circulating coinage by moving away from silver. That historical significance alone makes the coin interesting, even when most examples remain affordable. For many collectors, the excitement comes from the hunt itself, the possibility that an overlooked treasure could still be hiding in pocket change, old collections, or forgotten family coin jars waiting to be discovered. Thank you for watching, and I hope this journey into the story of the 1965 Washington quarter has inspired you to take a closer look at the coins you already own. Rare discoveries do happen, but knowledge is always the greatest treasure in coin collecting. Before you spend an older quarter, take a few moments to inspect it carefully, because you never know what unusual feature might catch your eye. If you enjoy learning about American coins, hidden mint eras, and the fascinating history behind valuable collectibles, be sure to subscribe to Quarter Old Money News for more exciting stories, expert insights, and collector tips. Until next time, happy collecting, and good luck searching for your next great discovery. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out an ordinary-looking 1980p Washington quarter, and wondering if it could be hiding an extraordinary secret. Every year, millions of coins pass through countless hands without anyone giving them a second glance. Yet, history has shown that a tiny number of coins become collector favorites because of rare minting mistakes, exceptional condition, or fascinating stories behind their production. Today, we're taking a closer look at the 1980p Washington quarter to discover why some examples attract serious attention from collectors, and why checking your spare change is always worth a few moments of your time. The 1980p quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a time when the United States was producing hundreds of millions of coins to meet everyday demand. These quarters were made primarily for circulation, meaning most examples are still worth only their face value. However, collectors know that the real excitement begins when a coin survives in remarkable condition or displays a genuine mint era. A sharp strike, brilliant original luster, and surfaces free from scratches can make an enormous difference in value compared with an ordinary circulated coin. One of the biggest reasons collectors search through rolls of 1980p quarters is the possibility of discovering a legitimate mint era. While most quarters were produced correctly, a very small number left the mint with mistakes such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, double dies, or other manufacturing defects. These errors occurred during the minting process and make each affected coin unique. Because genuine mint errors are uncommon, they often generate excitement whenever they appear in the collector market. Condition is another factor that can dramatically influence a coin's value. Professional coin grading services carefully examine every detail, including the amount of wear, the sharpness of the design, the original mint luster, and the presence of marks or scratches. A heavily circulated quarter may only be worth 25 cents, while a beautifully preserved mint state example can attract much stronger interest from collectors. Coins that have never entered circulation and still display their original appearance are generally the most desirable. Many people believe every old coin is automatically valuable, but age alone does not determine price. What truly matters is rarity, demand, condition, and authenticity. A common 1980p quarter that has spent decades in circulation is usually easy to replace. On the other hand, a certified high-grade specimen or a genuine error coin may command a premium because collectors compete to own the finest examples available. This is why experienced collectors inspect every detail before making a purchase. If you own several 1980p quarters, take a careful look at each one under good lighting. Examine both sides for unusual features, compare the lettering and design with a normal quarter, and avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can permanently damage the original surfaces and significantly reduce collector value. If you believe you have found something unusual, storing the coin safely and having it examined by a knowledgeable coin expert or professional grading service is often the best next step. Stories about ordinary coins being worth millions of dollars spread quickly across social media, but not every claim is based on real auction results. The smartest collectors rely on careful research, verified sales, and expert authentication instead of sensational headlines. While it is exciting to dream about discovering a life-changing coin, realistic expectations are just as important. The thrill of coin collecting comes from learning history, recognizing genuine rarities, and enjoying the hunt for hidden treasures. So before you spend your next 1980p Washington quarter, give it a closer look. It may simply be another everyday coin, or it could possess a rare feature that makes collectors take notice. The next remarkable discovery often begins with a simple moment of curiosity. If you enjoy learning about rare American coins, hidden mint eras, and the fascinating stories behind everyday pocket change, make sure to subscribe to our channel, because your next incredible coin discovery could already be waiting in your collection. Have you ever looked at the loose change in your pocket and wondered if one ordinary-looking quarter could be hiding an extraordinary secret? Every year, millions of Americans spend their quarters without giving them a second thought. Yet collectors know that a few unusual coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Today, we're exploring the fascinating world of U.S. quarters, including the famous bicentennial design and the 1981p Washington quarter. While you've probably seen dramatic headlines promising impossible fortunes, the real story is even more interesting because it reveals how history, rarity, condition, and minting mistakes can transform an everyday coin into a collector's prize. The 1981p Washington quarter was produced at the Philadelphia Mint during a period when the United States Mint was striking hundreds of millions of coins for circulation. Most examples are extremely common and are worth only their face value after decades of use. However, collectors actively search for coins that escape the mint with unusual characteristics. A quarter preserved in exceptional uncirculated condition, especially one with brilliant original luster and sharp details, is far more desirable than a heavily worn example. This is why two coins from the same year can have dramatically different values. One may still buy only 25 cents worth of goods, while another may attract serious interest from collectors because of its remarkable preservation. Another reason certain 1981p quarters receive attention is the possibility of genuine mint errors. During the minting process, small mechanical problems occasionally created coins with doubled designs, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, or other unusual features. These errors are not common, and most quarters do not have them. When a legitimate error is confirmed by professional experts, collectors may pay significant premiums depending on how dramatic and rare the mistake is. The combination of an authentic mint error, excellent condition, and strong collector demand is what creates value, not simply the year printed on the coin. Many people also confuse the 1981p Washington quarter with the famous bicentennial quarter because both circulate widely in the United States. The bicentennial quarter, dated 1976, celebrates America's 200th anniversary and features a colonial drummer on the reverse instead of the traditional eagle. Since hundreds of millions were produced, most bicentennial quarters are common and worth only face value. However, a small number of examples become desirable when they are preserved in exceptional mint condition, struck in silver for collector sets, or display rare mint errors. Those are the coins that experienced collectors hope to discover. One of the biggest myths on the internet is that every old quarter is worth millions of dollars. Eye-catching headlines often use enormous numbers to attract viewers, but experienced numismatists know that true multi-million-dollar coins are among the rarest objects in the entire hobby. A coin's value is determined by rarity, historical importance, authenticity, condition, and collector demand. Without those qualities, even an old coin may have little premium over its face value. Understanding these principles helps collectors make smart decisions instead of believing every sensational claim they see online. If you own a 1981 P quarter or a bicentennial quarter, take a careful look before spending it. Examine both sides under good lighting and search for unusual doubling, missing details, off-center strikes, or other obvious minting abnormalities. Avoid cleaning the coin because even gentle polishing can permanently damage its surface and reduce its collector value. If you believe you have discovered something unusual, keeping the coin in a protective holder and having it evaluated by a reputable grading service is usually the best next step. A professional opinion can determine whether the coin is genuinely rare or simply an interesting circulation piece. Coin collecting is exciting because every coin carries a story from the time it was created. A quarter may have traveled through thousands of hands, witnessed decades of American history, and survived in remarkable condition before ending up in your collection. That sense of discovery is what keeps millions of collectors searching through rolls of coins, estate collections, and pocket change every day. While most searches end with ordinary finds, the possibility of uncovering an exceptional rarity keeps the adventure alive. Before you spend your next quarter, give it one more careful look. The odds of finding an extraordinary coin are small, but they are never zero, and every great discovery begins with someone paying attention to the details others overlook. Whether your coin turns out to be worth 25 cents or much more, learning about American coin history makes the hunt rewarding. If you enjoy discovering rare coins, hidden mint errors, and fascinating stories from the United States Mint, subscribe to the channel, share this video with fellow collectors, and let us know in the comments which quarter you would like us to explore next.